New GPUs models are right on the edge of launching, and yet here I am reviewing an RTX 5070 from PNY, the base model. Why am I doing that? Well, because this currently is the best buy, at least where I live, where this is a nice 10% cheaper than literally any other RGB card on the market. This is the very simple PNY RTX 5070 OC RGB. Now, full disclaimer, this video is not sponsored and I was not sent this card. I wish they would send me GPUs, but if you guys follow the channel and you know how my opinions are usually, you can probably see why they don't send me basically anything. So with that said, PNY is a US-based company that has been around since 1985. So about 40 years in tech, and they've been making GPUs for a very long time. I actually made a dedicated video kind of reviewing the brand, which you can find on my YouTube channel. But the thing we care about here today is that they're not some new players, they're not gonna disappear, leave you without a warranty, and they're very reliable. The only thing is they generally make ugly designs for their GPUs, and they were catering towards more the workstation, server enterprise. They were making a lot of blower style coolers on their GPUs, so they were not really taking on the gaming market. However, from RTX 3000 about there, they started making a few very interesting designs like the Accelerate series, the Verto series, and so I've started actually using them in my computers. The thing is, what surprises me today is this is not an Accelerate GPU, this is not a Verto GPU, this is a baseline PNY GPU, and as such, it's very cheap. Now you can tell that via the unboxing process. If you take a look at the box, there's nothing in it, there's just a little adapter, dual 8-pin to 12-volt high-power cable, no GPU stand, no stickers, nothing fancy, you just find your GPU with a pretty satisfying peel-off to do, and the GPU is a very standard dual-slot card, which is good because it fits everywhere. It's pretty slim, kind of like the Slim series from MSI. It has a pretty simple pass-through design on the backplate, the usual one HDMI 3 display ports, and it has a pretty interesting RGB design both on the front and on the back. It is also overclocked from factory, nothing insane, but I will show you right now the fireside score for this card at stock paired with a Ryzen 7 9800X3D. So why am I recommending it? Well, quite simply because if you also check out the temperatures associated with this fireside score, this card runs cool, it runs quiet, and again, it is cheaper than the competition. All that while they have dramatically improved their software. Okay, so check out the software. This is their software, and they basically did an all-in-one software, kind of like Asus does with the GPUs, where they're integrating RGB control, fan control, and overclocking capabilities all in a single software. They also put a little scan to see what the BIOS in the card is, and they also implemented the automatic OC scan, where you can actually do a one-click OC on it, which is decent. It's always better to do a manual undervolt and overclock, as I show on the channel, of course, but also the auto scan is a good baseline to see in theory what your card can do. It's not a bad tool. And the RGB they use, you can basically click on what you want to change, either the top or the bottom of the GPU. And you can customize it, customize the speed. So it has very good controls. I was very surprised. This software currently, I want to say it's on par, if not slightly better than MSI or Asus software in terms of RGB and stuff you can do in it. You can also save the profiles for the overclocking. It's very good, even though for some reasons it was picking up like the specs of my SSD as well. Don't really see what's going on with that, but it's very good software. This card was also a very good overclocker. Now, it's not good to base statistics or impressions of one card, but I actually tried a few from PNY, from the RTX 5000, and they're all decent overclockers. The thing is, with Asus, since they have the very high-end models, they do some very high binning, and the best cards become Matrix Platinum GPUs. Here, they don't really have a high-end model like that, so you can actually get luckier than with Asus. With Asus, you kind of have a ceiling because the best cards end up becoming something different. You will not find, for example, in a tough card, the best overclocker. Here you can. You can also find a very bad one, but you can also find a very good one. So it's interesting. So this is just one of my quick reviews where I tell you guys that if you're considering buying one of those, the RGB version especially, it looks very good. I really like the RGB, especially if vertical mounted, but also just horizontal mounted like in this build. If you want to see the full build, it's on the channel. And if you find this one at about the same price as other GPUs, you can definitely buy it. But if it is cheaper, like it is right now in my area, it is a best buy. So you can go ahead and grab it. But as usual, I want my videos to be kind of like a community where we share what we think. So if you had a bad experience with a PNY GPU, drop a comment down below so people can also know, maybe avoid buying them in a certain situation. And with that said, drop a like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.